Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are setting up my October bullet journal spreads in this adorable black cats and pumpkins theme. For this setup, I'll be using the acrylic markers from Arrtx again and some Sarasa clips, and of course I can't do a setup without using my white gel pen. We are starting with the cover page, and this is the third year in a row now that I'm doing pumpkins for October. They are always slightly different. Like last year I did pumpkins with some fall foliage, and the year before that I believe I did like pumpkins and ghosts, and this time it's pumpkins and cats. So I hope you're not tired of the pumpkin themes just yet, and I do really like pumpkins and I think it's super fitting for October. Right now, we are just putting down a base layer of everything, and I'm using acrylic markers because the colors just layer so nicely on top of each other, but you can use any medium of your choice if you decide to recreate this theme. I'm just in my acrylic marker phase at the moment. After the base layer was done, I then took the darker colors and added in some depth just by going directly on top of the first layer. And if you're using something like water-based markers for this, you can just use the exact same color to go over the areas you want to be darker, and it will darken up the color. So I think water-based markers like the Tombow dual brush pens and Mildliners will work really well for this, and I will list the shades that I'm using here in the description in case you do have the Arrtx markers and want to use the exact same colors as me, and all of these colors are from their 90A set. To outline the pumpkins and add a bit more detail, I'm just going over everything with this very bright orange Sarasa clip. Gel pens work really well on top of anything, so I love using gel pens to add in details. I used to have like a really long time ago, I used to think you couldn't mix together different mediums on like a piece of artwork. I don't know where I got that mindset from, but I felt like it was cheating or something if you mix the different mediums together. But now I just think that you can use whatever you like and mix together whatever you like. I always sneak in white gel pens in everything now, especially like adding highlights to pencil sketches. It just makes my sketches pop and feels kind of freeing to be able to do that. After I was done outlining the pumpkins, I moved on to drawing the cats. I drew one hanging on the side of the pumpkins and another on top, and for this I just used the black acrylic marker and leaving white spaces for the eyes and nose. And it is a little off frame here, so I do apologize. I somehow feel a little out of practice with filming this month. I do these setup videos every single month, but somehow it feels like it's been ages since my last setup video. September just felt really long for some reason, so there were a few times where the camera angle was a little weird during this video, but I think it was fine for the most part, so thank you for putting up with me. For the second cat, I drew him or her with a witch hat. The hat is also black, so I left like a little bit of white space between the hat and the cat so that there's a bit of separation. I wasn't too precious with the border here because I can clean that up later with a white gel pen. I am then writing in the October title around the drawing with this muted pale green color. I've been so obsessed with muted green shades lately. Something about the fall months just makes me gravitate towards green. My favorite color is actually like muted grayish sky blue, and something about these shades of green just gives me the same calming feeling as the blues. Then I took the dark green Sarasa clip from the vintage set, and I'm drawing some vines around the pumpkins just to add a bit of movement to the entire thing. I'm also adding some sparkles with this brown Sarasa clip, which is also from the vintage set. I love the vintage set if you cannot tell, and then I did fix up some of the details with the white gel pen and also used it to add whiskers to the cats. And that is the cover page done. I think there's just enough going on here to be interesting, but it's not like super complicated and crowded. And now we're moving on to the calendar spread. I am first drawing the calendar grid using the dash lines I always do. I didn't do the dash lines last month actually, and I really missed it, so I'm bringing it back this month. I love the look of these lines. It's so easy and fun to do, and it tricks your eyes into thinking that there's more going on the spread than there actually is. In the space at the top, I'm drawing another pumpkin, and I'll also be repeating the October title again on the top here as well. And by the way, if you want a digital version of these spreads, or maybe you don't have time to set up your own spreads and want something you can use digitally or even print out to use physically, check out my Patreon. Every month I make a digital version of my setup and a printable sticker sheet to go along with it. This month I have lots of pumpkins and cat doodles that you can layer together. It's so cute, and you can also use it digitally, like adding it to your notes or something, because I'll always include a no background PNG version. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, check out my Patreon. You can get all of that for $1, and it would mean the world to me if you decide to become a Patreon. So thank you so much. I have a lot of space left here on the right side, so I am drawing a very tall box which I will split into two sections. A section for notes, which I can write down like general things I need to remember this month, and a projects section which I can list out all the projects I have going on, because I am a freelancer and it's just nice to see a list of things I have on my plate. And on the box, I am drawing another cat laying on top. I really love how these cats essentially requires just one black pen. If you don't count me fixing the details with the white gel pen, it's just one marker, and you don't even have to use acrylic markers. You can use any black marker you have, which if you're looking to do a very simple theme for your bullet journal this month, I think just having a theme with just these black cats will turn out super cute as well. And then I'm drawing more pumpkins. It was a little awkward to draw here because it was right between the two pages, but I did it. And something I do want to point out with these markers is that just like acrylic paint, the colors dry a little darker than when you first apply it, which you'll be able to see throughout the setup. And especially when I apply the second color, you can see that the color starts out more similar to the base color, and then it gets quite a bit darker. So if you want to see what the color will look like once it's dry, just test it on a separate piece of paper before you use it on your setup. But yeah, I'm really in my acrylic marker phase at the moment. I've painted so many objects with these markers because they do work on pretty much any surface. I'll also be receiving Arrtx's 90B set very soon, which is exciting. I unfortunately don't have any discount codes for these markers, but any discount codes I do have, any affiliates codes I have, will always be in the description. Here I'm just making little bullet points for the project section. For the digital version, I actually made these bullet points into tiny little pumpkins, which is so adorable, so check it out if you're interested. I think for my digital versions, I'll always tweak it slightly and make improvements here and there because there will always be things that I wish I did differently with these spreads once I'm done setting them up, and I'm able to change that with the digital version. So you guys are basically getting like a better version of my spreads every single month if you decide to become a Patreon. I made little green pill-shaped bars at the top of each column and wrote in the days of the week and the dates, and I did mess up the dates because of the way I drew the calendar. The boxes started on Monday, so I also started writing the dates in on Monday, which is not correct. October starts on Wednesday, not Monday. I realized the mistakes a few numbers in and went back to fix it with the white gel pen, which if you don't have a white gel pen in your life, please do yourself a favor and go get one. It has quickly become one of the most useful piece of stationery I own, and like I said, like I'll use it for a lot of my drawings, and also when I make a writing mistake now, I'll use a white gel pen instead of a whiteout to fix the mistake, and it is so much more clean and precise. I added in some sparkles and we are done with our calendar for October. The next page we're setting up is my habit tracker, so I'm writing the habits title at the top of the page in the same style as the October title, but just a lot smaller. And then I did the same, like green bars with rounded corners like I did on the calendar page. I think making these elements like cohesive throughout your setup really makes your spreads look like they belong together. And by the way, this screen is a Mildliner from the neutral set, but I'll have all the stationery I used listed in the description as always. I made 5 spaces for my habit trackers. I only did 4 last month and I felt like there were more things I wanted to track, so I'm adding 1 more, and in the space left at the bottom here, I'm drawing more pumpkins and cats. This might be one of the cutest themes I've done this year. It just feels like October without being too Halloween-y. I know I did have a cat with a witch hat on the cover page, but it's not that Halloween-y overall. Halloween is actually not that big of a thing in Thailand. Trick-or-treating is definitely not a thing we do here. Mostly it would just be bars and nightclubs throwing Halloween-themed parties, and schools will let kids like dress up and stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. When I was still in school, I kind of did look forward to Halloween because I get to dress up, but now I feel like it's just another day. It's one of the holidays I feel the most indifferent about, so if you do like Halloween, tell me in the comments why you do or don't like it. And then I wrote in the dates for each habit tracker. I haven't done the habit tracker in this style for a while. For the past few months, I've been doing circles instead of writing in the actual dates, but I think writing in the dates here kind of fits the theme more for some reason. The last page we are setting up today is a goals page for the rest of the year. I titled this page Q4 Goals. I feel like as we head towards the end of the year, people rush to get things done, and I've heard a lot of people call the fall months like the great lock-in, so I just want to have a place where I can write down some things I want to achieve before the end of the year, like before 2026 starts. So I split the page up into 3 sections, one for work, one for health and fitness, and a section I titled Just for Fun, for all of those things I want to do like just because. I think it's good to have personal things you want to achieve just because you genuinely find it fun, and it doesn't have to be attached to work or something bigger. It could, but most importantly, you're doing it because you enjoy it. You're doing it for your inner child, if you know what I mean. Again, I'm drawing a pumpkin and a cat in the bottom left corner of the page. I feel like I can draw these in my sleep now from the amount I drew for my bullet journal and also for the digital version. Apart from the slight bit of worry of not having done enough by the end of the year, I am actually really looking forward to the end of the year. I've always liked the second half of the year more than the first half of the year, and I have lots of trips planned in the upcoming few months, which I'm so looking forward to, and it's gonna be snowboarding season soon, which is so exciting as well. I'm finishing up the drawing with the white gel pen and adding in some sparkles like we did for all the other pages, and we are done with October's setup. So here's a flip through of all the spreads we made together today. I feel like I say this a lot, but I really like this theme. I'm really glad I did cats and pumpkins for October. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. My Patreon, discount codes, social media account is in the description as always. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye!